Stassis23 here, and today we have another Terra knives to show y'all. If you didn't catch my review of this beauty right here, go check it out. I'll try to leave a link right there. Super cool. Still carry this one quite often. Very comfortable, well-made knife. But today we're going to check out this little guy. That is the Terra Trekker. And as I'm shooting this video, there is currently a Trekker available with the leaf-shaped blade, like on this one. I think this is my favorite of the blade shapes. This one's a drop point, but they have a leaf-shaped blade, one in CPM 4V at 63 HRC available. So if you're wanting one of these, or if you want to watch the rest of the video to decide, he does drops, I think, every 2 weeks, and he's trying to increase the amount of volume. The better and better he gets at this, and he seems to be improving with every single knife that he puts out. The specs on this one, like I said, it's a very small knife at 5.5 inches, a 2.5 inch blade, grip area from here to the back of 2.6 inches. So for me, I can get 3-finger grip with my medium-sized hands. And what really makes it nice and comfortable in the hand is the thickness of these scales coming in at 0.69. It really fills out the hand nicely. And the stock on this one's coming in at 3/16, and it's about 20 thousandths behind the edge. I'll tell you what, it really blows my mind that Terra Knives is only 26 years old and putting out some phenomenal work. Of course, they're USA made in Cleveland, Ohio, and he gets all of his knives heat treated from Peter's Heat Treat, arguably the best in the business. And you can really tell that he takes pride in his work, and that's why it's been my pleasure to showcase 2 of his knives now on the channel. Now let's take a close look at this one. It's a small but very capable fixed blade. Even though I had my reservations in the beginning, whenever I first got it, I was like, oh, that's going to be too small to be useful at all. This particular one is a drop point in CPM Magna Cut steel. He also works with other steels as well, like mainly your high premium steels with premium heat treats and good HRCs on these. Has a full flat ground blade, nicely done, nice satin finish, and it looks like he tumbles it after he satins it. Nice looking. You have a perfectly executed sharpening choil. That's how you do it right here. His plunge goes all the way back here, and you'll have all that sharpening life before it starts to widen up in the back. He has perfectly executed jimping right here as far as grippiness goes, and that's where my thumb lands. Nice fine cut jimping, grabs a hold of the thumb nicely. You could have maybe added a little bit more just for people with larger hands, but for me, it fits my thumb perfectly. You got a nice robust tip if you need to do any kind of digging with the knife. The spine does strike a ferro rod, even though I didn't do it with this one, but I did do it with the other one. If you want to see, it's definitely sharp enough. You could also scrape bark with it. Now I think it's time to see what this little guy's capable of. I did put my own edge on this because before now he was using the belt sharpener to put the edge on it. So I wanted to put my own edge. I wanted to lower it back some, and it's awesome to hear now he has put money back into his business, and he has bought a TS Prof to put the final edge on there. So that's awesome. You'll have nice and consistent, which they were consistent before, but they will be even better now. Of course, it was blasting through this, and now we're going to go to the piece of birch to test the areas and kind of see what this thing's capable of. I'm trying to get a feel for it first, how I want to grip the knife, and it took me a little while to get a solid grip whenever I'm trying to force a lot of pressure into this wood in the hammer grip. I definitely have more control in the saber like that. You just can't get as much force into it in my experience. But after I got the feel for it and kind of got my grip right, as you can see, I'm putting a good bit of force into here. Not probably is not gonna be the knife you would grab to do this type of work, but if you had to do it, you could definitely do it. And it really shows that you can really get more force that I thought that you could behind this little bitty blade. And we'll see how capable it is later. Chest lever cuts, you could really get some good pressure down too. Just wanted to see how that felt. It was nice and comfortable. I was locked in, and decent control. Like I said, you don't have a huge handle, but it is nice and thick, so it does fill out the hand nicely. No hot spots that I really felt on the knife. He does a good job with finishing the scales and the tang and all that. Everything's done nicely. You could also slap a lanyard on the back part if you want a little bit more to grab a hold to. Now move to the 1/2-inch twisted sisal rope, and man, oh man, just look at it. Push cutting. That drop point, that belly's perfect for, you know, cutting on a flat cutting surface. I'm able just to push down in that pinch grip, and yeah, it's making short work of it. Very easy to do. It's a lot easier than I expected it to be. I thought the short handle would be a problem as well, but the back butt of the handle kind of fits into the palm, so it allows me to, you know, really get some force down into it. And I have to say, MagnaCut with a good heat treat on it really shines. It's very easy to strop the knife back up once you're done, and keep that edge hair shaving sharp for quite a long time, unless you know, dang it up or something. But we ended up making 65 cuts before I ran out of rope, and it definitely didn't even feel like the edge was affected. Of course, once we get done with all these tests, we will test out that edge and see how it is whenever I'm done. Doing these type of drag cuts, a breeze, because you got a good bit of belly in the front. Quite comfortable doing so, and I was doing it in like a pencil grip with my index finger on the top of the spine, just for some extra control. And you know what I think this knife is great for is to have a tucked away knife, like you know, depending on where you want to carry it, as an EDC fixed blade. And just to make a quick cut, you know, say I had to cut this, and I'll make one quick cut, put it back up. It's capable of doing a lot more, as you can see, and it did not. None of this material phased it in the least. Tons of bite left on this 12-ounce denim. This is some rough stuff, and it is blasting through it. Always puts a smile on my face whenever a knife can handle this type of stuff this well, and definitely can recommend his knives. I'm kind of excited to see how this MagnaCut held up. Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, it feels like I didn't even cut anything. If I strap this back up, it's gonna be probably close to where it was before. It was hair whittling before, and man, definitely could probably shave hair still. I don't have much hair to shave. All right, let's take a look at the sheath. You get a nice Kydex sheath. I put these pull the dot soft loops on it, but it comes with a nice Tech Lock style clip right here. These work great as well. I tend to use these more often. I'll probably pop up on the screen on how I like to carry something like this. It's definitely easy to conceal. You can clip it inside the waistband if you wanted to. You could make a setup to where you clip it inside the pocket. It's got a nice push off spot on the top of the Kydex sheath to push off, and you got a nice positive click whenever you put it back into the sheath. Definitely takes a lot of time with his stuff, and he also bought a new Kydex press to make them even better, so definitely he invests back into his company quite often. Now, let's take a look at the handle. It's got a nice random rock pattern on the G10, nice and thick. He also works with, I'm pretty sure, Terra Tough. Hopefully he'll start using some micartas. I like the way micarta feels in the hand. Got a nice size lanyard hole, which is awesome for a small fixed blade like this. So you can put a thicker lanyard right there to kind of give yourself a 4-finger grip almost. The finishing is outstanding. It's got a nice brushed satin finish on the top spine. Got the Terra knives logoed right there, very nice, and US tang right on the tang right there. Everything's nice and fitted. Nothing is no high spots. Perfectly done on both sides, as you can see there. Your edges right here, they're not sharp, which is kind of hard to do whenever you have a rock texturing right there, but it was comfortable. The only thing that I did feel a little bit when I was really bearing down into the wood is this portion right here, and it's because, you know, trying to keep this nice and crisp, and it gets a little small right there. So I don't know, maybe a suggestion just to put a little bevel right here and on the metal right here on the end part of the edge tang or whatever. I don't know what that you would call that on fixed blade right here. The Ricasso maybe. They're nice and bolted on with some big Torx screws right there. Nicely done. So if you need to clean underneath these, you can if you get it wet or something. If you look down right here, you can see how even his bevels are. Nice and even on both sides. Very well done. Get a quick weight without the sheath. Coming in at 3.47 ounces. And even though I don't have the Tech-Lock style clip on here, get a ballpark with the sheath. So it'd probably be around 5 ounces or maybe 5 and some change with the Tech-Lock system. Some quick size comparisons. We have the Essie Azula and the Selby knives, Folsom Necker. It's a little bigger than the Folsom Necker. It's a good bit smaller than the Azula. Next we have the Ontario Rat Model 2 and the Off-Grid Knives All Day Fixie. There it is next to some CRKT Minimalist. And last we have the QSP Canary. And for nitpicks and complaints, I'd really just have to be nitpicky if I'm going to think of something. Like I said, maybe a chamfer right here on the G10 and on the steel, just because that's where your hand's up against. Something I could easily do myself. And it'd be nice to see a line of his knives with some thinner stock, like 1/8 inch stock. So you have even the slice portion up here as well, down to something like 10-12 thousandths behind the edge. That would be awesome. But as they stand, they're awesome. They perform great. They're well made. He's very responsive, super nice guy, and it definitely won't be my last. I think out of the two blade shapes, I prefer the leaf shape the most. And now I think my next will have to be that one that's in between here with a 3-inch blade. Yeah, I think that one's money. That one's money. So I will have a link down in the description to his site. Like I said, there was still, I don't know how many available, but maybe just one available with this shaped blade on a Trekker. And once that one's sold out, don't worry. Like I said, I think he does drops every 2 weeks, and he has, I think, 2 different models that he drops, or 2 different versions. I don't know. Definitely check him out on Instagram. Hit him up. Show him some love. I love supporting, small makers from the U.S., especially, a young maker like that getting started out and doing some excellent work. So if you have any questions, comments, concerns, please leave them down below. I hope everybody's having an absolute amazing day. I will see y'all on the next one.